Hey guys, it is Wednesday here in West Virginia, and I know yesterday I said I wouldn't be back until Friday, but I decided to go ahead and do a Widebody Wednesday, because I have these two Widebody Challengers from Autoworld, and I wanted to give them their 15 minutes of fame or less, and I was going to show them on Friday with a couple wagons and a caddy that I have, but I figured I would go ahead and just do a video solely on the Widebody Challenger from Autoworld that they were bragging about back in 2013 as being a true limited edition, that it was different than anybody had ever done before, that they were actually destroying the mold after they made 4 models, and then they were grinding it up, and they even gave you little shavings of metal claiming that it was the mold. That was a cool idea to try to make something more valuable and start trending really big on the secondary market. It just didn't happen though. In the retail industry, they didn't even take off too well. Because when I first seen them and heard about them, they were at a discount store called Burke's in West Virginia at the discount clothing store. I think it was back in 2014 I seen them. It may have even been 2013, but I think it was 14 when I finally seen them there. And I think it was the silver one that I seen. It's exactly like this car, except it's in a different package, and it does not have this New York Toy Fair 2013 logo on the roof. Now, this car, I happened on 2 of these, and I actually done a short on one of them. I mean, 2 of the Toy Fair ones. I have a black one we're going to take a look at here shortly. But, yeah, when I got this, as you can see, they didn't fasten this down in the box at all. There's no cellophane around it. Supposedly, this is the way they came directly from the Toy Fair when they were giving them to people. So, and then here's the story about it. Autoworld is proud to announce its all-new line of highly detailed 1/64 scale diecast. To commemorate this event, we are offering this Dodge Challenger Widebody diecast. We're taking accuracy to a whole new level. When we say true 1/64 scale, we mean it. Compare our cars to real 1-to-1 scale, and we'll measure up, literally. Autoworld is making history, charting a new course in diecast. And they do a good job with keeping their cars 1/64th, and their detail is pretty good. And it is sometimes second to others, but for the price range and such, and the type of models that they make, they're really cool. They have a lot of cars that you would never imagine, like people making a 1/64th of, like some of their wagons and like the big old Cadillacs and stuff that we're taking a look at on Friday, for example. So anyways, this guy here is the New York Toy Fair one. And as I was telling you about, I ended up with 2 of these because of it flopping around in the box. As you guys probably know, if you store matte finish cars in a box and it shifts around a lot, it's going to cause the matte finish to become a gloss finish. And that's what it did to this area of the billboard on this car. And it was a lot worse than what it is now. I actually took a rubbing compound and rubbed it a little better. So like when you're looking at it side shot like that, it's not too bad. And even like from this side angle, it's not too bad, but you could see where I rubbed it ends like right above the wheel, and then the rest has been untouched. So it just depends on the angle and the lighting. So the guy didn't know this, so he sent me another one. And if anybody needs one, this one here I'm getting rid of if anybody needs it for like $12, which is a pretty good buy on this. I paid more than that for it, but as I said, I got one to replace it, so I'm willing to give somebody else a good deal like I got. So anyways, guys, this car, I'm not sure how many pieces were made of the Toy Fair one. They did not state, but they did make one identical to this in their lineup. They made 4 different colors, 2 that were 1 of 5,000. That was the white one. I'm sorry, the black one and the silver one. or the black one and the white one, I think. And the silver one, I believe, is the one of 3,000. If it's not, it's maybe I'm mixing up the white and silver. And then they had a really rare one that was almost considered like chase numbers, one of 1,000, and it was red. And it was only available in the Autoworld store in 2013, I believe. And anyways, they did not go over too well, as I mentioned. So they did start trending, though, about, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago. And now that I'm really heavily into collecting Mopars, I decided, why not get a couple of these and see what the big deal is? And they are very, very nice in person. I think the one thing that deterred me at first on buying these back in 2014 when I found them at Burke's for like $8 was the fact that they were not stock Challengers and it was this wide body kit. So I didn't really know what to think of it. They look cool, but it still wasn't the original Challenger or a Mopar product. It was a customized Challenger. So I decided not to get them. But now after getting them, they're really, really nice. These wheels and tires may look familiar. These are the same wheels and tires that they put on their first fleet side Silverados they launched. These billet style wheels, and they've run them on, I think, another Challenger, the Black Ghost Challenger, and maybe a couple of other cars. So they are familiar wheels to me, and they look really good on this car. And the billboard on this car is actually part of the wide body. These are actually chiseled body lines, as you can see here. The little silver lip there, yes, that is actually part of the wide body. It flares out a little bit, but then it has this area here. I guess that would make it easier instead of trying to blend everything together, but it also gives it kind of a retro look of like a CUDA with the billboard style stripes. So it is kind of cool. And the front fender, as you can see, just kind of bubbles out. It bows out a little for the wide body part. And this has, I think, it is an acrylic taillight lens, which is rare from Autoworld. They usually never put any kind of acrylic lenses. They're always painted. And on the headlights, too, I believe they are acrylic, it looks like, instead of just being painted. Once again, is a rarity from Autoworld. Another feature is painted details on the base and separate pieces for the exhaust tips. But another thing that's really, really cool about this model, and I wish Autoworld would have done this with all of their cars or start doing it with all of their cars, is the Phillips head screws holding it together instead of rivets. That is awesome because you could change your wheels and tires, do whatever you want to the car without having to drill and tap. Under the hood is beautifully done, but Autoworld never disappoints with their engine compartment detail. They always have the best, and that's one thing they're not second to none, is the detail of their motor compartments, unless it's like a $25 to $40 1/64 car, but we're talking Autoworld is only like a $7 car. It used to be only $5 at Walmart, but if you're talking Autoworld store, they're like $9 each. But still, for that price, the detail on the engine compartment is second to none. Now, the body and things like that, it can be debated who does what better. But the engine compartment, I can guarantee that Autoworld has superior detail to, say, like M2 or Greenlight. Now, all the other details you have here, the gas cap, which is cool. You have your wing, which is a separate piece. The blacked out hood, which looks nice. Detailed interior with high back buckets. Really nicely done. The door handles are the same color as the car, which is the factory look. And then the mesh grill is silver. I guess that would be kind of like a factory look. It almost looks like a billet aftermarket grill. That may be what they were going for. I'm not sure. But overall, it is a very beautiful casting. And this is probably the cheapest example you'll be able to find of it. The red one I can't even find. It was a 1 of 1,000 creation. And then the other silver ones that are, I can't remember if it was 1 of 3 or 1 of 5,000. And then vice versa would have been the white one. The white one would have been 1 of 3 or 1 of 5. Now the black one we have right here in front of us. So that one I can tell you is definitely 1 of 5,000. See, 1 of 5,000 period. And they say true LE limited edition like never before. Now on the back of this package, you can see there is a guy that works at Autoworld, well, owns Autoworld. He's the president, Thomas Lowe. And true LE is one production run of 4 colors, white, silver, black, red. 5,000 each of 2 colors available through mass retailers, 3,000 of 1 color available through hobby retailers, and oh, it's 1,500. That's the red one. 1,500 special edition color available directly through autoworldstore.com. So yeah, that's the one that's impossible to find. It's I'm sure you can find them here and there, but they rarely pop up on eBay anymore. So we're thrilled to revolutionize the industry by redefining the standard for limited edition diecast. True limited edition is an entirely new concept in diecast collecting. Once the production run is final, the tool is destroyed. For added authenticity, we've even included shavings from the actual tool that casts these vehicles in each package. Like no diecast brand before, there will always be a finite number of vehicles forever. We will never make more. Now that's, I don't know, at the time they may have thought it was a good idea and it would have even been better for secondary market sellers, but it just didn't work that way until recent years. Then they became trending on the secondary market. Now this had 2 sills here, if you could see, where it's an Autoworld sticker, kind of a round sticker, just like M2 does for their sills. Well, I cut these because they didn't peel off as easily as like M2s do. And you slide it off, it's just like a big protector that goes over the box. And then you have a better look at the car. The car in black with gray billboards is absolutely beautiful. With the gray centered wheels, it looks killer. I don't know, the black centered wheels may look a little better, but that's the one thing that's awesome about these. The Phillips head screws, you can swap the base around and see how it looks with black wheels. Maybe it looks better, or maybe the silver looks better with gray. So who knows? It would be more color coordinated for each vehicle, in my opinion. Now, the thing with the shavings in it, that's wild. As you can see, they just kind of flip around or fall around, whatever you want to call it. But, yeah, I thought that was like some kind of collector coin that they put in there, but it's not. That's what I thought when I first seen these, 11 years ago? But it's not. It's a tool that's been cut up and grinded down. Now, today's standards, I think it was kind of foolish because they could have made those colors and just made that color only, and it still would be special amongst collectors, but then later on they could have launched new colors. Yeah, I had no idea they did that until recently when I picked up a couple, and I was thinking, why don't they make more colors of this casting? This casting's awesome. It would go over so well, especially nowadays. But they destroyed the tool. So, yeah, I would have loved to have seen this thing in like orange, hemi-orange, with a black billboard, something like that. That would have been awesome. So now the side flips out here. There's no tape or stickers holding it. Just those 2 original stickers that hold that like protector style cover over it. And then the car is held down by these ties. I guess I'm not going to go ahead and take those off. I was going to do it during the video, but I've been talking too much. So I'm not going to do that. We'll just do a spin around on it. And they have a piece of plastic holding the hood open just like M2 does on theirs, or used to do. But I think they've even eliminated that now. The black looks really good, and the hood is still a matte finish. And then you have that chrome billet-looking grille. Very cool piece. And then true LE, limited edition, like never before. So, yeah, kind of sad to know that there are going to never be any more of these, because they do look pretty sweet. And yeah, the plate just says True LE. But I really do like these cars. I would like to get a white one and a red one. The silver one, as I mentioned, it's the same thing as the Toy Fair one. It just doesn't have the logo on the top. Exact same model. That's why I wish the Toy Fair, they would have done some exclusive color just for the Toy Fair, or at least in their production run made a different color than what they use for the Toy Fair. It doesn't make sense because, as I mentioned, you could take nail polish remover and remove that 2013 Toy Fair logo off the roof and say it's one of 5,000 or 3,000. But I don't know if there's any other differences, but they all have the same wheels. I do know that. And it's the same color, but maybe the interior color is different or something. I don't know. But that's it, guys. That is our wide body Challenger show for Wednesday, and we will be back again on Friday with more Autoworld stuff. We got a couple of wagons and a caddy to show you. So we will do that on Friday. So enjoy the rest of your week. And don't forget to give us a thumbs up. It helps us move up in the algorithm and helps our channel grow. So be sure to do that. And if you have not subscribed, please do so. And leave a comment. I always read them. I may not respond to all of them, but I do always read your comments. So thank you guys for taking the time to watch my video.